tell me, how big is the band in Germany? From what I see on Wikipedia, it looks like you've had 3 albums in the top 10 in Germany. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, yeah. Is the thing is, I always tell my parents about that. It's like, oh, look, it was worth it, because we're in the charts, and then I forget about it because it's. I mean, what counts are the people that like your music, that come to the shows, that enjoy your music, and from that point of view, I can tell you we're doing good. We're doing good in Germany, in Europe. It's growing, and in Germany, it's like when you want to hear a number, we had our own festival, Escalation Fest. There were like over 8,000 people already,
Oh, wow.
which was amazing. We had a little arena near our hometown, and biggest experience when it comes to live shows for us, for headlining shows for us. So yeah, we're the part where we live in Germany is called the Ruhr area because of the river Ruhr that surrounds this area. And the people are very chilled, very very straightforward, and very humble. So everybody is like, hey, it's cool, but let's not talk about it too much. So um I keep it that way. Like we're enjoying it to the fullest. We're very lucky to be in that position. We worked hard for it, of course, but it can go the other way around the very next day.
Sure.
Always keep in mind then when there is an up, there can be a down.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. So the last tour that I saw, from what I could tell, looks like you guys are playing to a couple thousand people in Europe every night.
Yeah, could be like so in Europe, it's like it depends a little bit on in which city we play, but in general, yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And you have not done any touring in America since 2013 or so. Is that right?
Exactly. America is so expensive to travel to because you have
Yeah.
so many great artists yourself, coming over, plane costs, traveling costs, and everything that. It's like when you're when you're not having some 20,000 bucks in your pocket, it's almost not doable. That's why we stayed at home for such a long time. But I can remember the last time we played the US, it was just an amazing time. Best times we had, like being on tour. And you know it for yourself. America has so many different regions. So it's like the whole of Europe, you can experience a new country, a new state every single day. And it's just
Yeah.
in a big adventure.
Well, I find it very interesting that you guys reference a lot of like extremely German things like Schlager and whatnot, which I kind of know what that is, but I'm not German, so it doesn't just kind of scratch my head. It's like looking at people in a zoo, like, or animals in a zoo. I'm like, I don't know what this is.
Exactly. Yeah.
A lot of your vlogs are in German, and yet it still seems to really resonate with an international audience. How much, I mean, aside from touring, how much do you kind of focus on Germany versus the rest of the world? How do you think about that?
We always thought about ourselves as an international band. So we're from Germany, and we're patriotic when it comes to our hometown, like Castrop Rauxel. It's not near of a bigger town somewhere else, but Castrop Rauxel. And of course, we're Germans, but since our lyrics always have been English, we saw ourselves as an international band. The thing is, we're trying to be authentic as much as we can be. And thing is, although our English is good enough to communicate with people, it gets to its limits when it comes to sense of humor. Like
Right.
when we talk in German, it's easier to make good jokes and to be authentic. It's easier in our native language, which is German. So we had so many different chats with our management and label, whatever, and they always told us like, you have to do everything in English, and we try to provide everybody with English subtitles. And when we're doing big announcements, we're doing that in English because English is supposed to be understood by everybody on this planet. But if there are like vlogs that we have, and there are some particular situations of our everyday lives, we just keep it in German and just do our subtitles under it, which is pretty cool because when you read it and then you see, I mean, it's not only about about talking about, like, it's always gestures and mimics, you know what I mean, like to understand that a person is authentic and having fun, you know. So
Yeah.
this is the point, and I think people appreciate that. And this is the one thing that I would say first when you ask me for why we're like reaching out for people all over the planet.
It's interesting to me to see people like Americans that probably know even less about Europe than I do,
Mhm.
reacting to like Hurricane, which is like extremely German, and
Yeah,
yet it
yeah, yeah.
still seems to resonate with people. I think that's fascinating. It really says a lot about what you're saying, that there's sort of a universal element that connects with people, even if they don't really understand the details.
I think it's the Rammstein effect in some ways. Not that I want to compare myself to Rammstein, but to be honest, the die-hard fans, they are interested what Rammstein are really talking about. But the more interesting fact is how it sounds, you know,
Yep.
and the
And
language, the
feels.
harsh it feels exactly. And I think for the Hurricane is a very specific example of that kind of art, you know, because as you said, Schlager music, it's a German, I would say it's a German music genre, which is mostly heard, listened to by people over 50 maybe, that are not into pop culture a lot. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything bad about it, but it's like a
By
little
old
bit not.
German rednecks.
Yeah, exactly, not cool. It's not cool. So there
Right.
there is there is cool Schlager music, but most of it is not. But we just took this and turned it into something special. I don't know. We just wanted to go hard after the Schlager part, and people still get what we're trying to say between the lines. You know, it's like acting foolish, and you know
Right.
what I
Right.
mean. And sing along, and you still can dance if you still can dance even if you don't understand what we're saying. And then the part kicks in, you know, and everybody's like freaking out. And the funny thing is, there is a very special form of dancing, couple dancing, for this music. It's called disco fox. And in Germany, it's like everybody searches for another one, like you couple dance together, and there are different steps you have to take. And we made the people do it live on big metal festivals. We
Oh,
opened
okay.
up we opened up that pit, you know, open up that pit, and everybody was like,
Uh
"Oh yeah,
huh.
what's gonna happen next?" And then we told them, "Get a partner and dance disco fox," and
Well, I
everybody
hope that
did.
when you make it over to America again, you can bring Disco Fox to America.
Yeah, because of the hard part at the end, we called it Deathco Fox.
Oh,
We
okay.
it's we've been very creative with this one, but we even have a shirt. I like that. It was just a little joke in our heads, Deathco Fox, and we call it this way now.